LA's open for business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for, that was just like a wealth of information. I had no idea. And these are all businesses that are located within Los Angeles, either the city or you said LA Metro and also county as well, which seems like there's some distinctions there, which is really interesting because I thought it was just LA City, LA County, apparently Pasadena is LA Metro. Very good. Well, I'm sure there's like a lot of really cool stuff and comments that we can share with him and stories and that stuff. But right now we're going to open up for Q&A. So please, as our general format goes, if you have questions relative to his background in this presentation, please ask comments and stories offline. And John will flow around with Mike. If you have a question, raise your hand.
That was a very comprehensive presentation, but I noticed one slide you didn't have was on the healthcare and the digital health industry.
No, I appreciate that. Believe me, is this thing on? Yeah. I know there's a lot of stuff I missed. There's so much more to be talked about. I don't know everything, but I try and put together everything I can. So if there's anything I did miss, please email me at Scott@LA Tech Digest, and I'll put it into future slides. And also, the Twitter account is LA Tech Digest or @ScottPerry. But yeah, as much data is in here, there's always going to be stuff I missed for a city this size. And yeah, I mean, healthcare is one glaring omission from this, as well as I got some of the port tech stuff in there, but there's a lot of things that still need to be added. Those questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mike Williams, World Engineering Academy. I didn't hear what your background is. Was it journalism, technology, what exactly?
You know, I actually have a film and TV marketing company. I just wrapped up marketing for X-Files and Lucifer, Big Bang Theory, and Supergirl. And I've always had a natural curiosity about things. I mean, English major, English major, sociology minor, zero formal business training, but I've run my own marketing company for the past 15 years. And prior to doing LA Tech Digest, I had a site called New Music Tip Sheet. And on New Music Tip Sheet, I listed almost every single new release from almost every single label on a consistent basis. Because again, nobody was providing that service. Not Billboard, not R&R, not Hits, not any of the trade magazines. And by doing so, that put me in the middle of everybody's business in the music industry, where there was radio, retail, press, booking agents, concert promoters, music supervisors, ad agencies, lawyers, managers, whomever had a vested interest in the music industry came to me to see what was going on. And so as such, I've built out the digest for the same means, but as we all know, publishers don't make money. I'll be straight up with that. I put a lot of time into the site, but content in and of itself is very cheap. And so when you're going head to head against a larger company like a Mashable or TechCrunch, I don't know if LA Tech Digest is ever going to get that type of a scale, but I think it's important that these stories be told, whether I tell them myself or if I'm collecting everybody else's articles so that people can keep up with this stuff. And it's up to you what to do with that information and how it applies to your company, whether you're dealing with engineering, law, real estate services. Yeah, the site's a really good resource to see what's going on and what's happening without having to jump all over the place or build out your own Twitter feeds or RS feeds or anything like that.
Anybody else have a question?
I noticed that you had mentioned biotech with the lab launch that's recently started. Do you have any pulse on what's happening in the biotech industry in the LA area?
I do not. There's a lot of stuff I try to learn about, but biotech and health has been really, it's difficult for me. I should really dig in a lot more into those two. Yes, sir.
Where's the slide deck going to be available to us?
Oh, it's on the site right now. In fact, if you go to LA Tech Digest, there's a graphic very similar to that on the right-hand side, and it just clicks right over to SlideShare. So it's totally there anytime. So feel free to check it out, share it with your friends and family and peers and coworkers and everything. It's built this thing out originally in October. I did some revisions over the holiday season in December, and I'll probably do another round of revisions sometime in the spring. But yeah, it's there at latechdigest.com.
Hey Scott, thanks a lot for putting this together. Can you give us a sense of readership in kind of what the consumption is of all this great content through the various channels that you're syndicating through?
Oh gosh, let's see. I've got about 1,000 people on the email list, 3,000 on the Twitter list, about 400 daily viewers on the site itself. You know, it's just really, it's just continuing to grow. You know, I haven't put any money.
You should all sign up. You haven't signed up. You should all follow you.
Oh yeah, please, please. I mean, the best two things to do are to sign up for the email list, because that comes to your mailbox every Monday morning. And then if you want like a lifetime feed of what's happening around town, the Twitter feed is best. I've had to measure how much time I put into the site versus what I get out of it. And believe me, as a publisher, you can spend all day writing articles and hoping you get that viral lift that grows, and you examine it, you pivot it, you do what you can. But at the end of the day, I've still got to make money. So my film and TV marketing company pays the bills, but I'm very passionate and excited about what's happening in this space, and I can't let this go. You know, there's something there. How you make money doing it as a publisher, I have no idea. But these stories have to be told, so I keep doing it.
But we appreciate your passion just the same.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Hi there. I was wondering, are you getting direct releases from some of these companies? Or actually the question that I want to ask, are you finding that by scanning the social media feeds that you're able to get complete coverage of what's going on? Like, how complete do you think the coverage is coming through social media?
It's pretty great. It really is. I mean, thanks to companies like Twitter, where I can pull up everything from multiple sources, it's helped out a lot. And in fact, it actually eliminates a lot of the noise, because I do get direct feeds from a lot of people, but with every press release I receive in my email box is an obligation of my time. And it's really difficult for me to go, okay, I mean, this is a worthy story, this is great, but how much time do I put into that? And, you know, am I getting any ad dollars out of it, which I'm not. So it's just like, all right. But a lot of times the social's enough to where, yeah, I might get a press release like a morning before a big announcement comes up. And rather than like writing the article myself or copying and pasting the press release, I just see that headline on Twitter and tweet it out, you know. So, I mean, if I had a staff, if I had people like working on this stuff, I could take every single press release and turn it into something. But it's weird. There's a company called TechZulu who's been doing something similar for years. They're kind of, Efren, the founder, is going off in other areas. But he had a friend of ours make 90-second videos of what was going on in LA's tech space. Really, you know, fun to watch, great stuff, 0 views. The same woman who made these videos would post the stupidest thing on Vine and get 40,000 views in like 2 days. So it's really, things are tough enough for a publisher, but if you're publishing smart niche data, it gets to be that much more harder. I mean, you can be happy with the audience you have and monetize on top of that because you've got a really high quality clientele, but also key advertisers looking at your mass numbers and going, well, you're not big enough. I'm like, well, I'm reaching the right people, so, you know, who's to say who's wrong or right? It is what it is.
Okay, that's all the time we have for questions and answers. If you guys want to stick around, we